this is all about money. If I had my slideshow up, I'd be playing Shirley Bassey at the moment, because what I find is people are quite sneaky. You know, it's not just these hackers. What they do is, because I do the circuit, it's not glamorous, but I do lots of presentations in different environments. And I find that people pass messages on, or you're going to see the presentation by Sean, oh, he does this, that, and the other, so I tweak it. And of course, with money, I can do lots of different things. So if you want to play with me this morning, I'll ask the question, who knows how much in billions is spent every year on credit and debit cards? Who wants to have a guess? I might do my Bruce Forsyth impression. If you play, come on, somebody. Hundreds of billions. How many? How many billions?
400.
Who said 500? Right. It's higher. It's higher. Well, you're not far. Okay, put it in. It's 567 billion. All of us on credit and debit cards. Okay. So I start off there because it is all about money. Whatever we talk about, get to the point it's money. And it's your money because it's your personal money or your business. And it's important. So if we start with that, we then know that online it's 175 billion. Okay? It's a lot of money, isn't it? And a lot of that is online fraud. Okay? A lot of it. So with those figures, 4 billion. Well, let's start with another figure. Let's start with 4 million. Who wants to guess what's spent online to the value of 4 million a year? And it's in the retail sector. Men's clothing. What's 25 million? I suddenly realised the other night why my credit card is up there. Okay. Yes, it's 4 million for men, 25 million for the ladies, but it's all about money. So getting back to the point, the chaps here talked about webcams. What we do in the police world, it's all about prevention. The research, not my words, but Oxford University and others say that you can stop 80% of this. So for yourselves, you really need to think about this. A lot of you, you're working very, very hard. And when you get home, you're probably still, I would imagine, I don't run a business, but I bet you are working hard when you get home. You'll sometimes happen to log on and you're using a system. So, one little tip, because we haven't got a lot of time, and I'd normally spend about 2 hours, but I won't ask you to put your hands up, but how many of you have thought about disabling your webcam? Okay, well, we'll put some hands up then. We've got some confident people. I've got the audience. Come on, hands up. Who's disabled their webcam? That's not bad, okay? I would guess there's no other people that are too shy to put their hand up, because there's quite a few there. There's probably about 10% of the audience. So the rest of you have got your webcam enabled, if you like, it's switched on, and probably if somebody wants to, like these chaps were talking about, they can access it. Now, recently we've had a naughty man in Leeds who has been turning people's webcam on while they're watching Netflix. And some poor couples, while they're eating their popcorn, are being videoed, okay, while they're watching their favourite film, Titanic, and then it's popped online and they get bribed. So it's about your personal identity and your information. Don't get bogged down too much about the technicalities. Think about the wider issues, and also whether you've got a webcam at work, because they might be able to see a secret meeting. You might be developing the latest widget for Land Rover, and you've got your laptop on. Okay? And it might be enabled. The remote access might be enabled. These are simple measures. Computer, right-click, properties, open, disable, camera, job done. Or, if you're not technical, put a piece of masking tape over it. Right? But think about it, because also there'll be a big percentage of you that don't use the webcam. It has no use for you whatsoever. You never use it. Okay? So, that's just one tip. There are lots and lots and lots you need to read up on. Just Google it. Tips, how can I stay safe? The top threat, the European threat assessment. So for us, for the police, I can tell you the top threat is the theft of your personal information, your ID. They're after your two-factor authentication. So think about social media, because when I talk about this, I talk big about social media, because they're not likely to come to your business necessarily and do a mandate fraud and copy your invoice and send it somewhere else. They're going to look at social media, and they're looking at the more fruitful area. So a credit card detail is cheaper than a Twitter account log on. because they've worked out that if they get your Twitter account logged on, they might be able to find some naughty information that you don't want anybody else to know, or some activity or some images or whatever else that you don't want anyone else to know. And if they get hold of that, they can bribe you to a greater level than the limit on your credit card. So that's what the criminals are moving towards. So it's called social engineering as well. Those emails that we talked about, and the gent that put the hand up, you'll get that email. Why not right click on it and open it up and see where it's come from? Don't open it, but open it to see where it's come from, and then stick it in the spam or delete, but don't open it or don't click on the attachments, because it's big. And it's not just a person in a room, one individual. When they're showing you that hack, a lot of this is automated because they want to go big. So they'll put this malware. So there's Drydex doing the banks at the moment. There's Sphinx is another one. There are lots of these, and they give them, from my age group, who remembers Gladiators on a Saturday night, yeah? They give them sexy names. Blackshade is the latest one. Yeah, Sphinx. They've all got these sexy names. You know, it's an interesting world. So these Trojans and malware are active now today, and you need to read up on it and see what you can do to get around it. So from a police perspective, we are growing. We have got individuals that are coming into roles specifically designed around the prevent. So Charmaine Woolley locally and across the alliance of West Mercia Police and Warwickshire Police, we are investing in posts to work with you. And there's a change in the police culture in that there's now more of a move to work together with the private sector, and it's recognised at a national level, and we've been given that mandate. Before we were very nervous about it. We've got to do it now. The internet is run by you and the private sector, so the police aren't going to solve it. So, just coming to a conclusion, it's all about your personal data. You need to take steps yourself to look at what you can do. Cyber Essentials is the other side of having a trigger plan and a process where if you get hit and your systems are down, you have some sort of contingency for getting it right. But think about the insider threat, the human factor. So the biggest breach of all this, Snowden and the NSA, was the human factor. Somebody, a person who wanted to cause massive damage. So if you're running a business, you need to have a look around at your staff, and you need to have some policies in place, even if it's around effective and efficient using and changing of passwords and security. So on that note, I did want to say that I've been to several of these events, and this is by far the most well attended. So it's a fantastic platform for those who have set this up. It really is. This is a fantastic audience for this event. We have struggled in the past, but this is an example of how obviously people want to work as well with us. So on that note, I will close. Any questions, I'm going to be around, so you can obviously approach me. But we are looking to work together and to build some partnerships. We've got a web video coming out for small and medium enterprises soon. We develop that with the business world, and that will be accessible. I will speak to Charmaine and put some mechanisms in place, but that's around the sort of stuff I've been talking to, but in a longer video content, which will be free. We've also got a white paper on cloud security as well, which is available for yourselves. And these are free. So thank you very much. Any questions, you can see me, you'll be hovering around afterwards. Okay, thank you.